Good day everyone, I'm Steven. So together with my team Dioca, Clavite, and Pabillaran. So this video is an introduction, use cases, and a guide for deploying a full stack web application and render. So what is render? It is a cloud platform for deploying and managing web applications, including full stack, front end, and back end services. So this is an alternative to Heroku, since Heroku doesn't offer a free tier anymore, so we will use Render in this guide. So Render integrates with GitHub for automatic CI or CD, or what we call continuous integration and continuous deployment. So developers only need to push code to deploy, just like other cloud services like Vercel, Netlify, or Heroku.
Common use cases of render. First, full stack web apps. Easily deploy both back-end APIs and front-end applications. Second, static websites. It is ideal for hosting HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and front-end frameworks like React, Vue, or Next.js. Render provides fast, secure, and automated deployment with a global CDN for better performance. Third, databases. Render offers fully managed PostgreSQL databases with automated backups and high availability. And lastly, back-end APIs. It deploys RESTful APIs and GraphQL services.
So on render, we have three steps to deploy an application. First step is selecting the type of our service you want to deploy. So render gives us three options. First option, which is the web service. This is best for full stack apps, API services, and mobile backends. Now the second option we have here is the static sites, which is perfect for front-end websites, blogs, or content sites. Now, the last option, we have here the private services. So, used for apps that run on a private network, only on accessible by other render services. In our case, we are deploying a web service because we need a dynamic app that supports backend functionality. Now, in step 2, we have here configure your application. Now, we need to connect our project and set up some configurations. So the first one is we have to link the source code. We connect our GitHub repository, which is Netflix dense or the Netflix to render. Now the second is to choose our branch, which we select the main branch, which contains our latest project files. Then we set up and build ours and start commands. So under the build command, we have, so this script installs dependencies and set up the project. Now in the start command, this runs our web app using the unicorn server. So once everything is filled out, we are ready to deploy. Now in step 3, we have to deploy and launch. Now the final step is to click deploy web service. Once deploy is complete, your app will be live and ready to use. Now on the other hand, we have our team member, Dioca, which is gonna demo the process.
After logging in, you will see your dashboard, and you can see on the top right corner there's new. You need to click that. So click new, and you need to click web services for web service. But if you have a static application, you can use static site. But in our case, we are going to deploy a full stack application, so we need to select the web service. After that, you can choose, or you can look for your repository here, or you can copy your GitHub, your repo link, and put it in public Git repository. So click public Git repository and paste your repo link. So after that, click connect, and as you can see, you need to name your application. So in our case, let's name it Netflix DOS. And language, you need to specify the language. In our case, Django is made out of Python, so we need to select Python 3. Branch, you need to specify which branch you want to deploy. Region, you need to specify which region is nearest on you. In our case, Philippines, so we need to select Singapore. So in the build command, if we will leave this as it is, this wouldn't work. This wouldn't deploy itself, because the Django has a lot of commands for you to deploy, right? You need to create a super user, you need to supplement its password and whatsoever. So instead, the creator of this repo made a build sh. This is a shell script actually, and this has all the the Django commands for it to be used for deployment. So these are the commands it needs to run. So we need to replace this with the shell script. So build.sh, and the start command, you can find it here. You can find it here in settings.py. So click settings.py and look for WSGI. Here, this one, this line, you need to paste it here. You need to replace this, or you can copy this instead. After that, you need to select which instance type you want. So in our case, we are broke, we don't have money, so we need to create using free instance. After that, you need to insert your environment variables. Why is it, for example, an API key? You do not want it to be exposed on your application. You don't want it to be deployed together with your application, right? So you need to specify your environment variables, like a secret key or API key for you. In our case, we have multiple environment variables, so we need to click this add from.env and paste all of these stuffs here and click add variable. As you can see, here are all the environment variables that we have added. After that, we can click deploy web service. And if you're seeing this, you need to wait for it to be deployed. So this won't take long. It's just building all those stuffs and deploying it. So we will be back as soon as it is deployed. So as we can see, it says that your service is live, and as soon as we scroll up here, we can find our application. So we just need to click this or copy this to clipboard. So we named it recently Netflix DOS. So paste it on a new tab, and here we can see our application deployed. So in sign in, we have already specified some environment variables, and you can use that here actually. So in our case, I named it admin, and password is and here we go. We can now see that our application is now live. Obviously, we cannot see any movies here because this is not the Netflix server itself, but you can add here actually. So go to admin, and there you can add movie list here, add here, and movies, add here. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, and we now have a live application deployed. It is actually a full stack application deployed. So that's basically how you deploy a full stack application on Render, and it's free. It's totally free of charge, and no hidden charges as well.